All right, welcome to our Wednesday evening trading Zoom. The US dollar seems to be moving nicely this evening. Sometimes evenings can be a little quiet, but this looks like a good one. So, looking forward to doing a little bit of trading with you guys later on. Get your demo accounts ready. The currency pairs I've been looking at are Euro USD, USD JPY, NZD USD, and USD CHF. Seems like the dollar has been moving quite a bit this evening. So hopefully that will keep up. But before we jump into that, though, I've got a special guest for you guys in a little bit. But for those of you guys who are new on the call, I really want to spend just a couple of minutes really sharing and showing you guys really what we're all about and why I'm even here, and why I'm even talking into this mic right now. So I'm just going to share my screen and I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what this is all about. All right. So my story is 2 years ago, I was in a job that was taking all my time away from my family. I prayed and I said, God, you got to help me. And God brought me the academy. It's actually through a little bit of a miracle, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to wax too eloquent on that one. The academy, guys, is a tool. It's a very powerful tool. It's an education tool that gets you into a space where you can participate with in the same markets that the elites of this world participate in. I believe personally that I think a lot of the elites would rather us be out of this market so that we're doing our jobs and minding our business and doing what we're supposed to. But these markets are incredibly powerful. And I am so grateful for the education that I've received over the last couple of years. And I'm really excited to be able to show some of that to you guys this evening while we're on this call. And then let you guys actually watch a few of us, kind of the alumni, I guess you could say, of the Academy, um, actually apply it to the charts. So, and we're even going to show you guys one of the tools that we use to analyze the charts and actually put some trades in. So pretty cool stuff. So I Am Mastery Academy was started by a gentleman named Christopher Terry. Christopher Terry was born into nothing. He didn't have much. Um, and a professional trader that he happened to get connected with took the time to actually teach him how to trade. He went on to make 7 and 8 figures in his trading account. But, having come from nothing, he couldn't help but think about all his friends and family and others who, here he is in his ivory tower now, sitting on top of millions. And he really wanted to be able to find some way to take that favor that was done for him years ago by this lady who taught him how to trade and actually give that back to others. And so he built the academy. And what the academy does, guys, is it really brings Wall Street to Main Street. It takes all of that elite, exciting financial activity and it boils it down so that normal people can do it. And I don't ever want to give you guys um, the sense that this is trading, kind of boiled down and sort of polished and made really, really simple, but really not that powerful. Some of the strategies that we have here in the academy are actually the same strategies that are traded by big banks. In fact, we have a strategy called Smart Money that actually allows you to trade with the big banks. So we go all the way from baby steps to extremely high level, very, very advanced trading methods. Now, one of them we're going to show you this evening is called Dynamic Edge. So I'm excited for that. So I'm going to jump through this as quickly as I can. This slide here, if you don't see anything else on this slide, I want you guys to see these numbers. Down at the bottom here, it says 95% of the population has 5% of the wealth. So that's like 95 squirrels fighting over 5 nuts. Okay. 5% of the population has 95% of the wealth. So, and that's like 5 fat squirrels with 95 nuts. There's nobody's fighting over anything there. So that is a little bit of an imbalance in our world. And I don't ever want to point fingers or anything like that. That's not what we're here about, is to complain. We're here about solutions. And we actually have two different opportunities for you to get you into that 5%. Now, that 5% is divided up into 4% of them are entrepreneurs and 1% are investors, where money works for them. So I joined the 1% about 2 years ago, and I also joined the 4%. We have an opportunity for that 4%. We're not actually going to touch on it tonight, but if you're curious about that, certainly reach out to the person who got you on the call, and we can have a little, you can have a little chat about that. But the 1% is trading. This is where you put your money out into the market and the money multiplies. That's where that money goes to work for you. So this is the numbers on this slide are a lot of why I'm so passionate about this and why I'm taking my own personal time in my evening and I'm sharing this with you guys. So the world's largest financial market, the Forex market, daily, I think it's something like $8 trillion is traded. It's ridiculous. And the stock market trades in the billions. And so why would you not want to trade in the largest financial market in the world? It moves better. It's amazing. So I sure am enjoying it. We're going to do it tonight on demo, where no one's going to be trading any real money on this call. We're not financial advisors. Nothing we say here is financial advice. We're just demonstrating. So this is the Academy. What you can see here, you can actually, this is the lobby of the Academy. This is kind of where you would access all of your training, the tools, the mentorship. There's a lot that comes through this kind of this landing page of the Academy. It's pretty cool. And this is the 100 series of the Academy. Now, when I started, guys, anytime anyone talked to me about money, I just tried to get out of the conversation because it was a sore point to me, because I felt like my finances were out of control all of my life. And I just worked harder every time I got myself into financial trouble, which happened a lot. So when I started, I didn't even know what a pip was. I didn't quite understand what made the candles red and what made the candles green and what made the spiky tops and bottoms, the wicks on the candles. I didn't understand that. I learned all of that in the 100 series. So if you feel at any moment this evening, maybe when I pull up my chart and show it to you, if you feel overwhelmed, just remember this slide, the 100 series. It will all become clear. I remember when I went through the 100 series, as I went through each little video, and they're very short and they're very well put together, I remember my confidence started to build. And I remember the thought developing in my mind as I went through the 100 series. I remember thinking to myself, you know what? I think I can do this. For the first time ever in my life 2 years ago, I felt like I could actually do something financially that made money. And it was a really exciting moment of freedom for me. So the DCX, now we have 3 different academies. We're going to talk about the FRX Academy tonight. We also, in the FRX Academy, just teaches you how to trade Forex. The DCX Academy, Bitcoin. It teaches you how to trade cryptos. And the crypto space is the future of this world's financial system. And those of us who have a little bit of, even just a little bit of understanding of the crypto space are in a really good position to be able to do well as the world transitions over to cryptos. And then we have the e-commerce academy as well. We're not going to talk too much about that, but if you've ever thought, during COVID, there had to be a lot of money being made in the e-commerce space. If you'd like to find a way to capitalize off of that, we got it right here for you in-house in the ECX Academy. I actually have a really great mentor and educator teaching the ECX classes, and he's doing a really, really good job. So these are the Go Live sessions. And speaking of classes, if you were to go to YouTube, you could probably actually learn a basic trading method. But if I would be very, very surprised if you were actually able to be successful with, maybe going through a 5-part video series or something on YouTube. The Go Live sessions, these trading sessions, these educating sessions, this is where you really work out with your mentor how to actually do this, how to actually take all the knowledge that your head's been filled with and actually make it work for you. And so Go Live, I think, is probably one of the major reasons why we have such a high success rate here at the Academy. And so Go Live, for example, the educator that we are going to be talking about this evening, a gentleman named James Leone from the UK, he runs classes 2 days a week, 2 classes on Tuesday and 1 on Thursday. And, if you miss the class, it's at 10 a.m. Pacific. That's okay. You just watch the recording after. So it's a really flexible system set up so that you can really do well. And it's, everything possible, every means possible has been taken to make sure that you have the greatest possibility of success. Because that really is what incentivizes our academy and everyone who is on the payroll is, we do well when you do well. So that's how that works. And mindset is a big part of being a successful trader. That's another thing you don't get from YouTube. I've had so many people, I'll just YouTube it, I'll figure it out. Yeah, okay. Well, there's some things you can YouTube if you're trying to fix your stove or fix your car, maybe. But there's other things where you really need to take it seriously and you really need to actually go to university for it. So anyway, the MMX Academy is about mindset. And guys, I just personally, my own experience, my trading for me has been 80% mindset and 20% technical. And I'm not kidding. It's a really serious matter, because for me, I've always gotten very emotional about money. Some of you may be different, but I find most of us, just due to how we're taught in this world, even from little kids, the way we're taught to think about money is we tend to be very emotional about it. I mean, that's why the police officer will give you a monetary fine, because it gets them the response they want. And so mindset is huge, and it's not something to be ignored as you're learning this very, very powerful skill. So tools, we're going to show you one of them tonight. It is the Dynamic Edge strategy built on the Pivot Scanner. And tools are really important. If I can have a computer help me do some of the heavy lifting, analyzing the market, like, why would I not do that? There's some things that computers are just better at than humans. So we have quite a number of different tools, quite a number of different strategies. In the academy, we have almost 200 educators. It's huge. So, if you don't like the Dynamic Edge strategy we're going to show tonight, that's fine. There's many, many others, and they all work really well. There's longer term swing trading strategies. What we're going to be doing tonight is a scalping strategy where you're in and out of your trade, usually in just 2 or 3, sometimes maybe maximum 10 minutes. And I like that because I can sit down at the charts and I can find a trade opportunity in a pretty short amount of time, get my pips, be done for the day, and get up and go teach my son math upstairs. And I just love that. That's one of the things I really enjoy about the Dynamic Edge scalping strategy specifically. And then we got apps and all kinds of other good things, but I'm going to go ahead and shut the slideshow down right now. And I am really excited to bring up a special guest tonight, guys. We have asked Tanya to come on with us tonight, and Tanya's got quite a story. There you are. There's Tanya Davies. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, I'm looking behind you, Tanya. That is quite a view. Where are you? Oh, yeah, you're muted. You're still muted.
Sorry,
there we go. All good.
I was saying, this is my neighbor's view. They've got a bit of fireplace, so I put that in there.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice. Now you're here in Canada, right?
Yeah, I'm in a little town called Sun Peaks, which is on the top of like a ski mountain.
I know where Sun Peaks is. I'm in Kelowna, so I'm probably about a 2-hour drive from you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
well,
then you have to come over.
Oh man, sometime if we come up there, we'll make sure we look you up. My wife's name is Susan. We got kids. We'll come and see you guys. That sounds like a lot of fun. So guys, I'm really excited to meet Tanya and to introduce Tanya to you guys. And actually, this is my first time meeting Tanya as well. Tanya is from New Zealand, and she moved to Australia. She was a police officer actually for 10 years in Australia. And then she met Darla DeGrande, and Darla introduced her to the academy. And guess what? Tanya retired within a year from her job within a year of meeting Darla and getting started. And she moved her family to a mountain town in Canada. Like, how about that? So that they can go on adventures all day long. Like, I just love that. And I understand, Tanya, you started with crypto, and actually that was an area as well for me, a big one. I spent quite a bit of time and made some wonderful profits in crypto, and I'm still in crypto and DCX as well. Um, but Tanya, what brought you to Dynamic Edge? What was it you were looking for? And tell us, fill in all the gaps. Tell us your story.
Yes, well, I think I'm a bit like you, Steve. I was missing out on all those moments with the kids, just simple things like being there for sports events and reading them bedtime stories and everything. And I was a shift worker for so long, so I never saw any of that or got to experience much of it. So yeah, so it was quite a blessing to meet Darla. She showed me the pathway of where I needed to be and helped me dream a bit as well. And I remember telling her, I was like, you know what I really want, I just want to like retire from work and just spend all my days with the kids and probably move to Canada and live on some mountain somewhere and we'll just figure out that snowboarding and skiing thing. And, as that was coming out of my mouth, it sounded like very like silly, but she made it all happen. And it was just in the power of belief and persistence in this academy. So yeah, I'm very blessed to have been introduced to the academy and to be where I am now. And yeah, I started with cryptocurrency, loved it, and like you, I still do it today. I still got my I'm still in the classes. I'm still going through my portfolios and everything, but I don't know. I think that saying, like, what is it? It's if you're not growing, you're dying. So you should always be growing and working on yourself and developing yourself. And I wanted to learn more. The academy has so many great classes and I felt like I was in the very small percent of it. So I wanted to jump into the Forex Academy as well. I mean, I don't have a job where I'm at, 12, 14 hours anymore. So I had the time as well as, being a full-time mom. I thought, well, let's, put an extra hour in learning a new skill. So that's what made me jump into Forex. And I was going through lots of different strategies and educators. And I'd say that's, it's one of the benefits of having the academy is that you don't have to be stuck to that one person or that one strategy. You can go on your own pathway. And it was just by luck, really, that I fell into James Leone's class using Dynamic Edge. And I remember watching his class and he had this one boot camp. It was like 27 minutes. I was like, wow, that's nothing. And I watched it and I was like, looks too easy. I just wait for that signal. And if it passes these steps and I'm good, I was like, don't know. But it really is just as easy as that. Like I'd say a good month or two. And I was like, I know what to do now. So yeah, for me, I thought this is really a lot simple than a lot of the other strategies. It's really fun. I've got a system that does all the work for me because like there are people that love watching charts all day long. I really just love to be in the market for like a hot minute and then go play with my daughter for the rest of the day, right? So this strategy was perfect. And the fact that you, Steve, and Chris are also doing those classes in the morning, gold. Like, I know you don't know me, but I hear your voice every morning, so I feel like I know you. And you always give the best tips and you always explain like why a move is going to be good or why it's going to be bad. And I just get so much out of this classroom. So I really appreciate you guys.
Oh man, thank you, Tanya. That's amazing. That's so cool. Yeah, I've seen you on the call a bunch of times. That's awesome. We're honored to have you with us. And for me, I have to say there's something about the power of the word of the testimony. So, it's just when I hear the stories of others who have been set free, I'm like you. I'm gainfully unemployed. And it's just amazing. Like I honestly just never thought this was possible. And when I hear your story, I just feel all the more empowered, just to move forward and to do this and to realize this is real. And thank you so much for taking the time. I know you've got a lot going on. I understand you have to get off the call here fairly soon, so I don't want to keep you, but that's amazing. And it was my children, my wife and kids that really were my big reason why. I actually quite enjoyed my career. I used to repair appliances and I loved being in people's homes. I loved it, but it was just getting to the point where I was spending all of my time doing it and still barely paying the bills. And I just we had our fifth child, little Asher. He's almost 4 years old now, and our son Matthew. He just turned 10, and I looked at my kids and I just realized I can't do this anymore. I've got to make a change, and that was my big reason why. So it's so cool to me and so encouraging to me to hear how your daughter is a big part of your why. So that's so cool. How old is she?
She just turned 6.
Just turned 6. That's such a great age. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, she is awesome, and she's loving it here too. Like, she is a big part of my why, just like your wife and kids are, and she's having a blast here. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know a lot about Sun Peaks, but her school is literally on top of the mountain. Like, they have to ski to school and back.
No way. Seriously.
And she has to take the chairlift and then go and ski. And on Fridays, it's a mandatory day off because it's compulsory for them to do skiing and snowboarding. I mean, like, my school was not like that.
Wow. My school wasn't like
Yeah.
that either.
Oh, it's not a Canadian thing.
No, but that is so cool. That is so cool. You know something? I took up skiing just when I started, and I the academy. I took up skiing for my son. So we've been skiing at Big
Wow.
White, and I just love it. It's just so great to get the kids outside and spend time doing that. So anyway, I'm excited to jump into the markets here. Tanya, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your story. It's just so encouraging. It just fills me up, and I'm sure it fills everyone else on the call here as well. So thank you very much. We really appreciate you. And I'm excited to bring my friend Chris Leyland up, and I'm just going to make you a co-host here, Chris. Where is that? There we go. So you can share your screen, and let's see if we can find ourselves some opportunities in the market. And I think
Let's do it.
yeah, man. So guys, this is my business partner and friend and brother in Christ, Christopher Leyland, and he is kind of the I always like to say kind of he's the big guy that when you're playing tug of war, you put him on the back. He's the anchor, and he's the deep booming voice that comes through and leads our 6 a.m. Zoom call that we do Monday to Friday. It goes from 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. And although the call is not technically necessary, it's part of the community aspect of really what we do. And really, all we need in terms of education comes through James Leone and through the academy. But there's just nothing like taking what you've learned and applying it with your fellow students. And so that's what our Zoom call is. And I'm just so grateful to you, Chris, for leading that call every morning. That call is only for Academy members. So if you want to be on it, come and jump in. Come and jump in and join the fun and learn how to trade with us. It's pretty cool. So
Awesome.
what have we got, Chris? What's the market doing?
Oh, it's moving. It's moving around. I've been watching some of the USD pairs, just kind of flipping through some of them. Stopped on the UJ. Currency pairs aren't normally my thing. I usually trade indices in the mornings. That would be the Nasdaq. But the great thing about this strategy is that it works for everything. So yeah, I really don't know that I'm on USDJPY until I look up here. That's really the only thing that tells me that it's USDJPY. This could be NAS 100. It could be oil. It could be gold. It could be silver. I wouldn't know the difference. this is the only thing that tells me that it's different. Because the strategy and how we use it works the same across every market that we can go into. And sometimes, 6 o'clock in the morning isn't for some people, and trading the NAS at London Open, that's totally fine. There are opportunities to trade currencies and gold and cryptos straight across the board with this strategy. So, yeah, I've just been kind of watching here. We're downtrending on the USD JPY. We just had a little bit of a pullback here, just kind of waiting for things to kind of move down a little bit farther. We did have a buy signal here on the 3-minute, but I got these lines down here that are still kind of in buy or sell hopper mode. And we kind of had a little rejection where it was going to come through and create a hopper. But it wasn't, it didn't quite happen right there. So it wasn't something I was interested in. And I think my chart is actually frozen. It's not moving right now. Oh, there it goes.
USD JPY.
There it goes. So, we've got pink and purple coming together a little bit. They've kind of spread out from before. We're looking for divergence. I would expect to see things start to move to the upside, just based on what we're seeing here, is because we've had a test of this level here before. It's come down, it's tested it again, and it's starting to kind of move away from that. It is moving in a counter trend direction at the moment, as at now. As you can see here, things are now in buy hopper mode and starting to actually come back down. So we would expect to see this kind of retrace and maybe come back down and test here again before heading back up. At this point, with the black line, we call this the middle BB, being so close to this pink line, it's really not the best time to be getting in. It's really not the best time to be taking a buy because the risk is higher and the probability is lower. We're looking for low risk and higher probability. So, when price was coming back up through here, if I move the chart over here like this, and you just kind of look at it from this point of view, not looking forward, this would have been something of interest because we've got a signal, we've got a hopper, we've got divergence. Where do we have divergence? Do we have any?
Yeah, just go back to the.
Yeah, it's back
right
here.
Yep,
This one here.
that's the big one.
Yeah. So we had divergence here. We didn't necessarily reject a line. We kind of did.
What was a previous level of support that it rejected?
That's right. Yeah, right here. So this structure where price had come to before, we can just draw a line from that to here and say, well, that's our line, right?
Yeah.
Because that's part of the steps in the process. So we've had the divergence, rejection of a line. We can see that once price came up, these little black dots at PSAR flipped, came the other side and came on the outside of our Bollinger Bands, which was great. We can see down here that our histogram changed color and we went all the way up to pink and almost all the way up to purple. Sorry. So this would have been considered a counter trend trade. They're a little bit more risky, but it's okay because we understand the strategy. And we could have probably gone, from here up to, probably about there. So it would have been about 5 pips. 5 pips in this market, which is not bad. 5 pips is pretty good on a counter trend. If we had caught something more like this, now you're really talking. Let's just go from signal here. Here's your pigeon. Let's say we just caught it right to this point here. So it'd have been 15 pips. Right? That's pretty decent, right? So, let me see here. Cool. So yeah, it's just kind of, going to range a little bit here. So I'm not, saying that we're going to have any buys or sells. I'm not looking for any of that at the moment. Um, Not until, if we get a hopper here, that could be a really good moment to put in a sell.
Hmm.
Um, and this is not divergent here because we'd be looking for bearish divergence. If we were looking for a sell, I don't see any here
Hmm.
at the moment. Um,
Yeah, I would love to see that come up a little higher and reject one of those dotted lines there.
yeah, if anything, if you are going to take something right now, I would put in a buy, even though it is counter trend,
Hmm.
because we do have divergence here. This is bullish divergence.
That's true.
It's kind of what we look for,
Yeah.
right? Let me just remove these other drawings here. So we've got bearish divergence from here. If you don't understand what that means, that's okay. I still don't understand what it means. I just I just know that it's there. Um,
You just know that it works.
I just know that it works. Um, but you can basically see that this histogram here is showing a different story than actual price. There's a discrepancy between these lows and these lows here. So there's a little bit of a difference, right? And you can kind of see that.
Yeah.
But price is just kind of hovering around here. It looks like it's just consolidating,
Yeah.
but everything is really on our side. We're on buy hopper mode here. We just had a hopper on the 3 minute, which is good.
Yep.
And you can see on the 3 minute on the left hand side of the screen that we do have a bit of room to move up into that pink, which would be the purple on the 1 minute.
Hmm.
Interesting enough. So I would, err on the side of caution. You can throw a buy into there because you got PSARs outside, divergence, rejection of a line. Sorry, I'm going out of order completely, but that's okay. And you would have finger on button. We call that FOB, finger on button. That means as soon as price comes up above that middle BB, we would execute the trade for a buy. And if it just popped down below that middle BB, below that middle Bollinger Band, we would close it out. We'd take a small little loss. We wouldn't want to come down to here. Or you could set your stop loss down to the bottom here of where this structure is, where the wicks are, because it'll probably try and test that like it is. And
Yeah.
if it dips below that, you're protecting yourself. You're protecting that capital. But there is a chance that it could come back and go that northernly direction. But no. See, it's starting to break now.
So
Yep.
I've been, first of all, though, before I say what I was about to say, I'm going to just say anybody who is on the call who's saying, wow, Chris, you're speaking Greek to me. This is ridiculous. Why am I even here? Guys, please don't try and learn what Chris is laying down. Just listen and pick up what you can. And when Chris goes ahead and hits buy or sell, just hit it on your demo. Again, none of this is financial advice. So this is only demo trading tonight. Or just sit and watch, when he says, okay, we're going in for a sell, and watch the chart drop. So that is really, don't try to learn all of this right now. It may look like another language, but it doesn't take long. I have ADHD, or at least was diagnosed with it as a kid. I have to work 4 times harder than most people to learn anything. And I'm surprised actually how quickly I picked it up. So don't worry about that. But now, having said that, NZD USD is in a very, very strong uptrend right now. It has actually pulled back and it's gone into a sell hopper. So I'm really interested in potentially taking a buy hopper on this one.
Okay.
If we get another buy hopper, that could actually turn out to be pretty decent.
And
We do
NZD
have,
USD?
yeah, NZD USD. We
Mm.
do have bullish divergence
Mm.
on it, showing up on the 1 minute. Um, We do unfortunately have a Camarilla level right above us. So we might be able to take it just for a few pips up to that level and just see if it keeps going. But this one's been running for a while.
I like it.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on that one. We
Yeah,
have now the
totally.
bands have really tightened up though. So
Nice 50% rejection there.
mm-hmm.
That's nice.
See. I'm just looking on my other screen here.
Yep, 382. You are getting a cell hopper on the 1. But that looks like it's starting to curl up a bit, but bands are really contracted.
Yeah.
So they're really, really small.
Yeah.
The 3 minute though. See from here. Let's see. Yeah, it could pull back. Give us a PSAR flip. Reject just before middle BB. It's already hit that 382.
I don't have the NZD USD pair in my MetaTrader, so I'm just adding it right now. Forgive me for jumping, getting distracted here.
All good. Yeah, it looks like it is moving down a little bit. We are getting a little bit of band expansion there. This would be counter trend. Oh, Matt's saying he caught a couple of pips on USD JPY, so it did end up going back up, eh? Interesting.
Distracted us with NZD USD.
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is fun.
It might come down. It's reached a 382 already.
Yeah, it has.
I'm trying to make this a little bit. Oh, I moved my fib. If you don't know what a fib is, don't worry.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is either.
You just know it works.
I just know how to use it, yeah.
Well, it's like my car. It's like my car. I don't understand everything that happens under the hood when I turn the key, but I've been driving vehicles for a long time.
Yeah. Nice. Good stuff, Matt.
Yeah, on Forex pairs, you will get tiny moves like 8 pips, 5 pips. But the way this strategy works, that's all you need. One of the things I want to make clear for the new people on the call here is really all you need is 30 pips a day. 30 pips is not very much. That is not a big move at all. And if you're trading a Forex pair, all you need is probably 10 or 15 pips a day. I'm thinking on the NAS. The NAS throws a whole lot more pips. So we use a little bit less leverage on the NAS. But on Forex pairs, you just use a little bit more leverage. And you can take advantage of and make very handsome profits with tiny moves, like four green candles can do you for the day.
Yeah, we would have needed to take this one back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On about 2 candles before the signal.
Yep. Yeah. What I would like to see on NZD USD is I'd like to see it come down and hit one of those EMAs, come down against trend, because these counter trend moves. So look at Chris's screen there on the right hand side. Anybody can see that the candles are bouncy. It's it's a bumpy road, but generally it's going up. We call that an uptrend. And one of there's a saying from one of our educators: trend is your friend. So it's safest to trade with trend. So what we do is we wait for a pullback to one of these little colored lines down below, like the pink or the purple, or maybe that red horizontal line. And when it pulls back, the market will it's almost like it's stretching a rubber band. And as it pulls back, it wants to go back up. And so sometimes it will quite violently explode upward. And it's those upward with trend movements that are the highest probability trades. And that's where we make our income. So we have ways of determining. We use divergence and a couple other things we learned from James to determine when those rejections are going to happen, and it's really pretty special.
If we can get a PSAR flip here and a hopper, that would be a very nice buy.
Very nice indeed.
Yeah, and I would, target would probably be. I would be aiming for top of structure here.
Yep.
As like, where you could just quickly take some profits.
Totally.
Some partials maybe, and then target would be this first Camarilla level here. But
yeah,
I wouldn't enter until you see the PSAR flip. That would be your entry on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the PSAR is that little black dot that's just up above the candles there. That little string of black dots.
Those are the one.
Very good. So NZD USD, we're gonna wait on this for a little bit. I'm gonna look and see if we've got anything else that's looking juicier. Oh, what's just happened here? Okay, we've just popped down here. That's why we wait. Okay. Oh, both of yours. Oh, I see. You're looking at a different pair. Okay, I'm sorry. I got confused. I've got 3 screens going on in front of me, guys. Okay, USD JPY has dropped down.
There you go. There it is. NZD JPY or NZD USD. Sorry.
There it goes. Yep.
Well, that PSAR wasn't quite outside though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's not going to go up, but it may not go as far. Might just pop up to that where we were talking, that structure there. But you would set your stop loss at the PSAR.
Yes, that's right.
There you go.
There it goes. Yep, I'm just crossing into profit here now. The bands are so tight right now, though. So what this is going to, it may bounce a little bit.
A little bit of band expansion there.
A little bit, yeah. I can see it happening now.
It might struggle.
Yeah.
Brendan, to answer your question, I was trading long before coming to Dynamic Edge. But with any strategy that you do with your demo account, double your demo account before you go live.
100%. Yeah. Man, I wish we had all that volatility now that we had back before. Very often, though, guys, the market it'll take a little breath. And when these bands here we're talking about, those 2 blue bands, when those start to get really close and tight, what that means is a lot of the traders that are actually making the market move are not trading right now. So what will happen is you'll get a big move up, and then the bands start to tighten, and the market it won't really do a whole lot, right? There it goes. There it goes. Starting to wake up now. So it's almost like it needs to take a little bit of a nap, and then once it's done with its nap, it goes again. So we may be just coming out of nap time here now. All right, how many pips has everybody got? Drop it in the chat. I've got almost 2 pips right now. All right, Matt's got 2.5. Excellent. Let's go.
Could have a sell too on USDJPY.
Oh, yeah,
We've
yeah.
just reached the 50%.
Beautiful.
So that would be a nice counter trend.
Okay, so we are just coming up on the previous high on NZD USD. So this would be a point to do some potential profit taking. This is where you really want to have your finger on the button, be really FOB. It looks like it's wanting to continue to go. So that is a really good sign. But I would want to see this candle close green before I would.
Yeah, it's looking good.
It is looking good, yeah. If you've got a broker with a really small spread, and if your trade is not in profit yet and you entered down at the middle Bollinger Band, then you're probably trading with a broker that has a really, really bad spread. And if you don't understand what spreads are, we can talk about that some other time. But you don't worry if you're seeing red ink and you don't understand it on your demo account. It's just a demo account. Just relax. You can learn all that later, but you've done the right thing, and it's kind of fun to click the button.
Well, some of you might be wondering too what the blue target line and the invalidation level is, and that's part of the software that's built in. When we get across of the yellow and the green, it triggers us an arrow, and on that arrow, it gives us a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So the invalidation level, the stop loss, is put at the PSAR. So when that PSAR flipped and we got the signal, it automatically puts the stop loss in there and gives you a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio at the target up top. So that's always you always know that that's your 2-to-1 risk to reward. That's if you hit the button, place the buy as soon as that signal comes. Is how that works. So because you'd have to get in at that precise moment. Yeah, we could draw a flip up on this one, Steve.
Yeah.
Wick down to the 50. No, that's 61%. 61%.
I'm still watching NZD USD. We had a low test bar. It popped down, and now it's gone back up again.
Yeah. Well, I've got two different charts, two different markets open.
Okay.
I've got USDJPY on the left, and I've got NZD on the right. So we're good for a sell on USDJPY. We've had a 60% retracement there, and we had a 56.18 retracement there on NZD USD.
Yep.
So you can see that continue to go up. Yes, Matt, spreads do absolutely change at different times of the day. When some brokers, just before the break in the afternoon, they will expand their spreads. And it's kind of a tricky little thing that they do. That's why I really enjoy scalping, because I'm in and out of the market. I'm not holding trades through market close and market open, and the volatility that the brokers have. They will actually spread, like they'll expand their spread where it'll actually take out your stop loss. It's not fun. It's not nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So this is a nice on UJ. This is actually a pretty nice little pullback, and that we could actually trade.
I pulled back a little farther than I expected.
Yeah, it's true. It has gone past that 786 level, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're coming up on a hopper here.
Mm-hmm.
You've had PSAR flip. Here, let me get rid of this fib. See, we don't necessarily know exactly 100% of the time where things are going to go,
Mm-hmm.
but we know when not to. And I think that's the key.
Yeah.
We have an idea of what direction it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't go that direction, well, we know when not to be in
Yes.
at that point, right?
Well, yeah, you have a stop loss set all the time, but we also have manual trade exit rules. So in this case, if we get a candle close up above that black line on USD JPY, we will exit the trade with a very small loss. And I really do want to emphasize very small, because the one of the things about trading is you want to take those high probability trades, but there will be the odd time when the market does go against you. And that is not a catastrophic event. It really isn't. Most of your trades, when the trade goes in your favor, your profits will usually be 2, sometimes 3 times larger than when the trade goes against you. And that's really important to understand. That's something called risk to reward. You always want your reward to be larger than your risk. And of course, as usual, we are rejecting the black line, which is just what we want.
So see, the one thing that we're missing here, Steve, is some tunes.
Yeah, I know, right? So what we always do when we're trading, we like to play our tunes. I'm just too busy watching charts. I got 2 trades on the go right now. It's great.
Yeah, I still think NZD USD is gonna climb back up. As USD JPY, or we could do counter trend here. Like we're coming up on a hopper. We've got a signal. PSARs aren't quite outside, but you could take that as a counter trend. I wouldn't jump in just yet, like just above middle BB to pink, 2.5 pips. It'd be all right.
Yep, there we go. Let's give that middle BB a chance to flatten out a little, hey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, there it goes. The DXY is probably falling a little bit.
Yeah, probably. That's a nice run.
Yeah, that's a nice counter trend there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. We're coming up on the pink there.
Yep, that'd be your target.
Yep.
Bands are contracting though, but we did get a hopper. We got a signal.
Mm-hmm.
If we see some band expansion, it could head for purple, so that would be nice.
Yeah.
That might be all it's willing to give us, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, the NZD JPY, that's toast.
Yeah.
No good. Not anymore. If anything, sell it.
NZD USD, yeah.
Yep, sell it. It's counter trend as well. Yeah, sell it.
Yeah, so this is definitely some US dollar action here that's doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
There you
that's
go.
good because what's gonna happen is both of these, I like this. Both of these currency pairs are pulling back against trend. So remember what I said about the rubber band? Right now the rubber band is getting stretched. And I mean it could be a reversal and it could go the other way. But that's fine. You know what the dynamic edge strategy allows us to do is it gives us that dynamic edge. So when we actually see everything line up, we're going to know, okay, yeah, this thing did compress a metaphorical rubber band. It's now turned around and it's continuing back with trend. We call that continuation. And those moves are very profitable. So right now it's gone against trend and you can certainly trade that, but it's not as high probability like Chris said. And but I really enjoy catching the rebound on these counter trend trades, the rejection, and it pops back with trend, and you go ahead and fill up your bag with pips.
Yeah, you don't need a whole lot.
Nope. Be nice to
I've
nice
got,
to.
yeah, I've got one guy on my team that he's a chiropractor. He's just a trader. He goes for 15, 20 pips a day. That's it.
Yep.
And he trades dynamic edge. He trades on his own. Him and his buddy trade together, and
Nice.
it works good for them. Um, but he comes on and he trades. He catches his 15, 20 pips, and he's done. He only has about 45 minutes to an hour to trade,
Mm-hmm.
and his friend stays on. His friend usually loses all of the pips that he made. You'd think that he would learn from his friend that once you caught your pips, you get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I've
pretty
been
cool.
there. I've been there. Anybody who's there and you're learning and you go ahead and catch a nice move on market open or something with us in the morning, and then you give the pips back throughout the day by trying
Yeah.
to gather more pips and you make a bunch of bad calls. That's okay. That's part of the learning process. Don't be too hard on yourself. Remember, this is a skill that has an absolutely infinite earning ceiling. Every industry has, a salary cap, right? Um, every career has a maximum earning potential. This doesn't. So don't be too hard on yourself. Take a breath and give yourself the time to really learn it properly. Okay. Which of the two, UJ or NZD USD, do you like the best? Because I feel like this is going to come up. It's going to reject. It's already given us, UJ is already giving us bearish divergence right now.
Yeah, if you're in NZD USD right now, I would be taking profits.
Yeah.
It's definitely rejecting off of pink. I'd be looking for it to start coming back up again. And UJ, um,
Oh, I think your NZD USD must be frozen.
oh,
No, it's still going.
yeah, it's still going. Yeah, yeah,
My
it's
bad.
having
My bad.
it's
I got
having
too
some
many charts
rejection
open in
there.
front of me.
It's okay. That's okay. It's just that this could possibly this isn't typical though in a counter trend to go through this, but
Yeah.
uh, I'm just not comfortable with that. I'm just gonna say take your profits if you've got some on that one,
Yeah.
and we just leave it alone.
Hmm.
Um, we need to see a little bit more clearer picture
Hmm.
of what's going on. Um, I drew up the fib on this run down, with it being counter trend. It's possible. It's hit the 50%. I'd really need to see a MACD scalper here before it's going to go. You need another solid red bar on the histogram if that's going to go.
Yeah.
But I think the risk is a little bit higher and lower probability at this point. Just with, where pink is, where purple is. So I'd definitely leave that one alone. Let it go.
Good advice.
Yeah, let it go. Know when to fold them.
Mm-hmm. So when we're trading, we do a lot of waiting. And waiting is, thankfully, with this strategy, not as much waiting as most. But it is really important to have the discipline to wait for the right setup. And there are dynamic edge is going to give you lots of great opportunities, but when you're new, you want to be taking only the high probability ones. And so we have a point counting system, which is really great, and it allows new people to get profitable really fast just by counting points and going through the confirmations. I love that, and you'll get that in actually James's first video in his favorites. It's the boot camp video, and it's only 27 minutes long. Tanya mentioned it when she was talking. It's like 27 minutes long. That's amazing. You can get the basics of the strategy in 27 minutes. Looking at gold here. Okay.
Gold's just going to be a little bit more volatile.
Yeah.
We'll be able to see some quicker moves. Might look at some silver.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, silver looks nice.
Pretty. We should seriously look at trading these more often. I wonder what the spreads are like.
I don't know. I have to open up my broker and look.
Yeah, we usually trade wow. Yeah, I love this price action. This is lovely. The beautiful price action.
Bet you this is going to turn around here.
Mm-hmm.
Head back up.
Hit the Camarilla and bounce back up with trend.
Yep.
That's what we want.
Yep. So we'd want to see PSAR flip. We'd want to see signal. We'd want to see... Oh, we can see a W forming down here too.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Nice little W.
Mm-hmm.
Get a cross up. We've definitely got bullish divergence there. Yep, bullish divergence.
Mm-hmm.
And these three candles here, that's pretty close to that camera. I would consider that a rejection of a line.
Yep.
Previous structure as well. Yep.
Okay, so I just looked at on my broker the spread on silver right now is pretty much an entire move that we would grab. So I don't know how well that's going to work. If there are people on the call who want to try it, you could certainly grab, just go ahead and punch into your MetaTrader, go in and search for the symbol XAG USD, and that's silver against the US dollar. So
what was the spread, Steve?
Let me measure it.
That sounds huge.
It's massive. 48 points. Yeah, it's bad. But that's just my broker, Osprey. So
it
might just be an Osprey thing. Your broker's probably pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. Look at that. Yeah, it's coming back up.
There it goes.
Oh, baby. Yeah, I like that.
And it's nice to see the pink is right there, kind of overlaying the mid BB. So when we get a cross of those two, that's a very bullish signal. Okay, just UJ is popping down. So UJ USD JPY, Chris, has just rejected, and it is now it's falling like a manhole cover from the sky. This is great. I grabbed it.
Nice. Sorry, I was totally looking at something else.
And if you're on demo, guys, it's you're late. I'm sorry. That's our bad. We were getting distracted looking at silver and gold. But you're on demo, so you could click the button, I guess. But honestly, it's not something you would ever do with a real trading account, because we do have a little bit more room potentially. We've broken below a level of support, and now we can, yeah, it's crashing now down to previous structure. So you've got about 3 pips to go, and it's falling really fast right now. I've got 3 pips of profit here. I'm going to take my profits down, give it another couple of pips, and I'm just going to grab it.
USD JPY, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, nice. Isn't
that nice?
Yeah.
It's taken a little bit of a break here, but I think it's got a little further room yet. You can see that they had pretty strong rejection there. See the bottom, that wick on that last red candle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been enough for me.
Yep. That's all you need right there. Beautiful, nice, quick little scalp. So this is just what I was talking about, guys, on USD JPY. So that's on Chris's right-hand screen. So you'll see it's if you zoom that out a bit, Chris, everybody will be able to see that it's a downtrend. See, it's generally going down. And those EMAs up above, those dotted lines, if those are up above, that's a really quick way to be able to see that the market is trending down. Because those EMAs, they lag. They're lagging indicators, so they'll always be kind of behind price. So if they're above where current price is, then that means that you're trending down. So again, trend is your friend. So what you want to do in a downtrending market is you want to wait for those pullbacks that come up against trend, and then wait for the rejection, and then sell the arrow down until it rejects, and then you grab your pips. Now we can all see why it rejected, because there's a Camarilla level, that red line down below there. So it came down and it wicked perfectly to that Camarilla level, and that's where you take your profits out. So it's quite a science, and it works really, really well. And we're just really grateful for the opportunity to be able to demonstrate this to all of you guys tonight. I'm sorry I wasn't really paying close enough attention to the USD JPY. So those of you guys who are really wanting to actually get your demo account fired up and actually grab a few pips on your demo, you probably didn't get that in time. So join us next Wednesday, or better yet, jump into the academy and actually start to learn how to do this yourself. And then you can start joining us in the mornings at 6 a.m. Pacific and trading with us. So we usually do shut this call down sometime between 8 to 8:30 Pacific time. So we're in that point now where we're going to start bringing the plane in for a landing. If anybody does have any questions, please drop them in the chat. And in the meantime, let me just click through everything I've been looking at here in terms of pairs, trading currency pairs, and just see if there's any further opportunities. It does look like Euro USD may be trying to make another break to the upside here. But we have a Camarilla level that's holding it down. And again, if you don't know what a Camarilla is, don't worry. You'll learn all that in time. They're just basically lines on the chart that price usually will tend to respect, and we just rejected it pretty hard there. Yeah, so for Euro USD, I don't really see a good trade there right now. Don't know about you, Chris. UJ has kind of given us a few pips, and it's taking a breath.
Yeah, it's just ranging now.
Yeah. It is, yeah. And the NZD USD also, it's kind of at a all-time high there, and it's trying to push through. We did have an opportunity there, but that ship has sailed. Same thing with the USD CHF. So most of the US currency pairs have already moved. And we'd probably be, if we wait another 10, 15 minutes, we'll probably catch more pips, but I need to go put my sons to bed. It's time to go be dad again. So I'm going to go and do what I love best, and spending time with my kids. So it looks like we don't have any questions in the chat. So that's great. Chris, do you have any other thoughts? Anything else you'd like to share before we go?
Nope. I'm good. I'd just like to point out what's happening with silver right now.
Oh, there it goes. I love it.
Just saying.
Just saying. You were right. And we're about to go into, we're heading for a buy hopper. Oh my gosh. We got to stay on and watch this. Okay, guys. Why don't you show them, Chris, what the blue line is doing, the buy hopper that's just about to go in right now.
Yeah, this is what we call a hopper, a buy hopper. So we're going to get a signal here pretty quick. PSARs weren't quite outside there.
Mm-hmm.
But blue line crossing up above zero is a very good indication that things are going to continue to go up.
Yeah.
It's possible it could reject here.
Yeah.
You never know. Well, it is convergent there, so that's good. But just look, signal, hopper. Come over here, signal, hopper.
Now look at those green candles after the signal. I want to make sure everybody gets that.
Signal, hopper.
Look at all the green candles. Wow, look how tight those bands are. That's a no trade zone. Yeah, we have rules that keep us out of all that mess.
Hopper. Right? So, but how far it goes with that hopper, who knows? We don't know. But we do know that when we get a hopper and a signal, that it's gonna go for a little while. However much you take, well,
yeah,
that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome.
Very good.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate you, brother.
The feeling is mutual, Chris. Really appreciate you. So enjoy trading with you every day and kind of just hanging out. Gonna have to get you and Aubrey and the kids over at the house here sometime. Good to hang out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My pleasure, my friend. My pleasure.
Awesome.
Have a
Well,
great night.
yep. Thank you very much for sharing your screen and showing us how it's done. Well, thank you
100%.
very much, everybody, for joining us. It's been a real pleasure to be able to demonstrate the strategy to you this evening. The market probably it wasn't the best this evening, but we still got some pips, and that's what I love about this. We don't need the market to be absolutely perfect. We can grab a few pips here, a few pips there, as James calls it, a bite of the apple, and then you wait for the right opportunity. You take another bite of the apple, and away you go. So anyway, get back to the person who brought you on the call. If you do want to reach out to me for any reason, if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Facebook. I'm facebook.com/Steve Coleman1. So if you just type into your browser www.facebook.com/Steve Coleman1, or on Instagram, I am at blockchain dad. So blockchain dad. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Have a great night. God bless.